as we're looking for all the longevity secrets, and we watch movies like The Blue Zones, and we see one of the common factors of living longer lives is being surrounded by people that uplift you and encourage you and a sense of community. And that is a common theme because people have a sense of belonging. See, we have this thing, we have these mirror neurons, and these mirror neurons basically emulate empathy and they emulate what other people do. So you in these motivational circuits, we always hear these motivational speakers talk about you become most like the 5 people you hang around the most. So if you hang around successful people, you're going to be the 5th or the 6th, right? So we hear this, and it often is true that if you hang around successful people, they're going to have successful traits that you're going to inherently pick up because of these mirror neurons that feed into the frontal lobe of your brain, that prefrontal cortex. And then all of a sudden we start to emulate their behavior and we want to belong because as a species, we tend to have group think. And it's social programming so that we belong, so we don't get ousted. So it's a sense of survival. So I don't have a problem with anybody who wants to surround themselves with people like that. But the reality is a true individual who's on the spiritual path has transcended through this. And they realize a man who knows himself as well is protected by the sheath of armor the devil cannot penetrate. He becomes the light. He actually changes other people. He's the one who carries a torch. So we can either be a victim and be the follower, or we can be the leader. And that's a choice in life. It's a conscious choice. You can either do what the masses are doing, or you can be the cause, right? We can either be the cause or we can be the effect. And me personally, I'm going to be the cause. I'm going to be the one that's leading the pack because I realize how much potential God has instilled within me, and I'm made in his image. And so are you. So in that same fact, you can either follow the crowd and the group think and be impacted by the people around you. And sometimes those people are going to make you successful and give you good habits, but sometimes they're going to be bad. And the idea is to be aware and conscious so you don't fall into group think. If we go into group think and we follow the masses, we end up with these events that occur that we see, like, I don't want to say it because I don't want to get banned, but let's talk about what happened in 2015, 2016, right? All this, and actually at that time I was in Indonesia and I almost didn't get back because everything was being shut down. People weren't being allowed to come back in the US. And over time, what happened is narratives and stories came out. People were just reciting what they heard because they're afraid, and the media portrays an image to the public so that they are afraid and they can control the masses because they are the effect, not the cause. They can't critically think. They don't look things up. They don't research. So in that instance, what happened is they were able to push stay at home, save lives. They were able to push mandated medical procedures. And a lot of people fell for it. A lot of people suffered from it. A lot of people didn't have any impact from it. You can have your own belief systems on this. I have mine, and I'm pretty sure you know where I stand. But I'm not going to tell you exactly what it is, how I feel. But you'll figure it out. So through all this, when you look at what was actually occurring, you start to research stuff, you look at Fort Detrick, and you're like, what did the DOD have involved with this? What did the WEF have involved with this? What did the World Health Organization have involved in this? And so we got to listen to people like alternative media, like Whitney Webb, that kind of says, here, let's follow the money. What's actually really occurring? Why is this going on? And if we look at records of inoculations and you look at the polio vaccine, they said that polio vaccines actually stopped the spread of polio. but polio still exists. It's called Julian Barr. And I mean, the numbers are less, but also due to herd immunity, these numbers drop. And sometimes they come back and everything like that. But here's the thing with this. If you dig through the history and you look at the actual numbers, it was a cover up for the DDT injury. The corporations didn't want to get sued, and polio was actually an effect of DDT injury. So there's more going on to these stories than we're ever told, and groupthink gets us in trouble. It's those mirror neurons. So do you really want to be the cause, or do you want to be the effect? We want to be the cause. We want to be deep thinkers. We want to not just follow what everybody's doing. We want to understand why everyone's doing it. And here's the thing. You're going to lose friends. You're going to lose family members because you are a critical thinker and you don't follow the masses. And now, oh my God, I'm not in the blue zone. How do I live forever? And well, nobody's going to live forever, but how do I live this long life if I don't belong? But the truth is, you can live a lot longer, and you will live a lot longer because your mind controls the flow of electrons. And I keep expressing this. The mind is the most important part to your health because you have your reactive mind, your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind is attached to the hippocampus, which is memories, and the amygdala is the emotional center. And the hypothalamus controls all that autonomic function. So in that case where you're stressed out and you're fearful and you put that event in the back of the mind, the hypothalamus is just running that pattern of high cortisol. It's running that pattern of high epinephrine. It's contracting your blood vessels. It's contracting your bronchioles, right? It's impairing your digestion, limiting the blood flow to your stomach because you need to run. You're in fight. You're in fight and flight. So you're not in rest and digest. We always want to be at peace. We want to make wise decisions, be able to look at our surroundings, and be able to respond and not react. See, most people will only react. They will not respond. They don't think about it. They just do, right? They are the effect. They are not the cause. They can't lead because they follow groupthink and what they're told to do because they feel like they need to survive. And part of it is because they've never been taught that way, but it's also because they're still asleep. They're still in their derp state, just worried about what others think of them and are only able to truthfully think about their survival. It's about me, 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 me. Everything's about me, me, me. How can I get ahead? How can I survive? How can I get what I want? I want. And remember, when you want things, it's saying that you don't have them. And when you already have things, you don't want them anymore. And that means that the universe is going to give you those things because you are the energetic match. You are now the field of energy that attracts that. What happens when someone forces you to do something? When someone tries to tell you you have to do it, you push back. You don't want to do it. So you have to, in a relationship, you want to get something. You're never going to be able to persuade someone with logic. It's emotion that gets them to get what you want. So you have to create the emotion to be persuasive because most people don't act logically. They act emotionally. They're part of groupthink. But you have to be able to, but don't use this. It can be a weapon. So you can use this to get what you want in an evil way. But when you have really good intentions, you can create emotion within people to do the best thing for them. And, like I deal with health. So when I want to create emotion in somebody, I want to make an impact in their life because the Bible teaches us you must treat the temple with respect or God will destroy it, right? It's in Corinthians. So you have to treat your body with respect or the energy dies, the wave collapses, and life ceases to exist. So it's all about the flow of electrons. And when we neglect our bodies, my personal thing is it's a disservice to God. We need to take care of ourselves as part of the electron flow, but there's multiple facets that go into that. And your mind is part of this. Your mind is a flow of electrons. It's the awakening. So when Jesus Christ would disappear in the wilderness for 40 days and 40 nights, he was battling the subconscious mind. He wasn't battling the physical devil. He was battling the subconscious mind. And so he was becoming awakened. He was losing his ignorance. He was basically being reborn is what he was doing. And so as he loses his ignorance and he loses his ego, he's more aware. He's able to respond, not react. He's able to be more empathetic. He isn't part of the group think. That's how he could heal people. He had such immense energy within him because he was able to respond and not react. He was empathetic. He could understand people and walk them through what they were feeling to transmute them into a different belief system about themselves. He had so much love within himself, he was able to transmute that and give that to others. That's where healing happens. Love is the frequency of energy that changes the cell's potentiation, that opens the heart, creates a field in mind-heart coherence that creates the reality that you want and the egotistical things of money, love, and health. But if you don't live in the ego and you don't care and you don't want, you have all the needs you could ever ask for. So we don't ever want to fall in love with money. In Hebrews, you don't want to fall in love with money. You want to be content with what you have because you will be provided with more. We could lose it and it's still going to come back because you don't care. You just do the damn thing because you have so much faith and your heart is open and you're connected to your mind and the crown chakra is open and you just create. And you just create and you just create and you create and you repeat that over and over and over. And you're just this vessel of open energy that just completely flows through you. You don't need to work through the lower dimensional energies of force and burn yourself out anymore. That is done because you are not part of groupthink. You are the effect, or you're no longer the effect. You are the cause. You're creating the ripple effect in the universe, warping the time-space continuum that's pulling the experience into you, the egotistical things you want. So we have to research everything. Don't just take it. And we need to be open-minded, not just fall for nerves, we be open-minded. That's how we grow as a society. That's how we change. Everything in science should be questioned. Everything in physics should be questioned. And the reason I have so much faith is because I understand physics and I realize that everything is one because we are all light beings manifested by a zinc spark of explosion. That zinc spark and that hydrogen in our sun is the exact reason why life exists. That's what caused eukaryotic life to transmute, because we were originally just these single cellular organisms that lived on hydrogen. Light formed our planet. Light creates everything, including everything you can hear, see, and feel, because the magnetic waves pull matter together. It pulls the atoms together. And that's why everything is in existence. It gives us the people we love, and we basically manifest those people into our lives through our creation. They're teaching us. It gives us our pets that we love so much, right? Right, buddy? It gives us all these things, and then we look for that love and validation outside of us, but then those things aren't permanent either. So we lose it, and there's this immense pain within our hearts, and our heart closes. But you have to realize, everybody, you have the control over that. So again, you are the cause, not the effect, if you choose. So in an instance, and everybody's gone through this, you go through a relationship and you break up and you're sad and you're depressed and you're in your bed and you're just, your heart hurts and you're in pain. And the next thing you know, that person calls you and they said, I made a mistake, I miss you. And all of a sudden you're happy, you're out of bed, you're energetic, and it instantly changed just from the experience. But you couldn't create that within inside you because you were living in the effect, not the cause. And so if you had lived in the cause, you'd transform the matter around you and you experience the world differently. Life just flows through you. The electrons don't stop and you live this long life, because if electrons don't flow, you make more reactive oxygen species, which are free radicals causing oxidative damage, and the cells die off. They don't function. It depletes our sex hormones. So in the end of this, what I really want you to take home is the immense power that's within you. And it's not necessarily about the people you surround yourself around. You can be the cause and be super impactful, because there's nothing enlightening about shrinking so that other people feel secure around you. You were born to manifest the glory of God. And it's not just in some of us, it's in all of us. So as you let your own light shine, you give other people permission to do the same. And that's how you make a difference. It's one person after the other. As you open your heart, as you have empathy and you understand, and you don't use those mirror neurons, you use your light to influence others.